About 15 years ago, I joined the real estate industry in the hope of selling my recently deceased great-uncle's home in Buckhead, North Atlanta. The home is one of those southern-style 3-storied carriage homes that was more or less beaten up from years of neglect. My uncle suffered from mental illness, so it was not surprising the current state of the home. One hot summer day, while working with a contractor, we noticed a cold draft flowing through the first-floor home office. It was strange because the AC was not on and it was 94 degrees outside. He thought the air could be flowing from the basement, so he went to check. 5 minutes went by. Then 10 minutes. I eventually opened the basement stairwell and yelled down the staircase. An unfamiliar, burly voice responded,
"Help me."
I ran downstairs only to find the contractor tied up and knocked out unconscious. Thinking it was a home burglary, I immediately called the police. Upon waking up, the contractor had absolutely no recollection of the event or even asking for help. He was immediately rushed to the hospital where tests were inconclusive. The next day, I returned to the house with my future ex-husband as backup. We scrounged the house looking for any sign of a break-in. There was none. We then heard a loud noise in the basement. We ran downstairs only to be met with a frigid, stale air that smelled like the acidic scent of mangroves. And then suddenly, before our eyes, part of the basement ground literally fell through to reveal a perfectly square hole. My husband and I were shook. Just moments ago, we were in the basement and saw no hole. Now there was a 3x3 perfectly square. Dumb as he was, there's a reason why we're divorced. He stuck his hand inside and felt bone at the surface.
"Call the cops, honey. There's a dead body there."
The police excavated the basement and found 2 bodies. My first thought was, it had to be my uncle. Since 18 years old, he had owned the home after his parents died in 1944. However, examiners determined the bodies would have been killed by excruciating torture to the genital regions and blunt force trauma to the head around that date. At that time, my uncle was overseas fighting the Nazis and didn't return back from Paris until 1947. To this day, we have no idea why parts of the house were so frigid, who was screaming for help, or if my uncle was the murderer. It's left my entire family in the dark, and worst of all, the foundation was destroyed. We ended up knocking down the house and selling the property. Not exactly the way you think your first listing will go, if you ask me. Don't forget to sleep with your lights.